How we doing, people? First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you get whatever you're asking for. I'm going to be taking you through my 10 UK artists who I think had the best 2024. Let's get into it. The first artist I'm starting off with is Leo Stay Trill. Before this year, he'd only released 3 songs on Spotify. And during 2024, he released 13 songs and accumulated over 81 million streams on Spotify alone. And he's been showing all the upcoming artists what you need to be doing marketing-wise. Take Pink Lemonade, the Flung My Shoulder tune. That one song had like multiple viral trends. He knows what he's doing with this TikTok shit. And at 18 years old, that's what I've read online, that he's 18. That is crazy. You've got to respect it. If I did a list of all the artists to watch out for in 2025, Nems would be somewhere near the top of that list. Because apart from like the big names who are all dropping albums next year, I feel like Nems is the one who's going to have the biggest year. I'd go as far to say that he's the most consistent UK rapper out right now. He's dropping multiple music videos a month, and I literally CBA to count how many tunes he's dropped this year. He had a tune with Lil Yachty. He's been getting spun by Travis Scott. Like, there's just not many people in the UK achieving the level of success that he is right now. And I wish I had a better name for it, but he is sort of the king of TikTok rap, within the UK at least. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. In fact, it's so good for his marketing. You know, like pretty much every fucking footballer on earth has an edit to a Nem song.
Diamond shine might lose your vision, better close your eyes.
And like every tune seems to just be popping off. He's getting millions of streams on every tune. And for that reason, so many people are trying to replicate it. You've got so many upcoming artists who can't find their own sound and are trying to replicate this Nem sound. And you can tell the difference. They just can't do it right. Like, to those artists, you're not Nems. You're completely different. Find your own sound and run with it. But the sound that he's got, that he's working with right now, is going crazy. And I guarantee he's only going to have a bigger year next year. Another camera switch. This is sort of my way of making it more interesting, instead of going, here's the next artist, here's the next artist. I thought, I've got this new lens. I'll show you a bit more of the studio. I first saw Kyo Keys this year, and it was only after I did a little research that I realised, bro, he's been grinding for years. The first tune I can find on Spotify is from 2019, so you can assume he's been making music for longer than that. And his second song that he's actually ever released on Spotify was with Central C, but he didn't see any real success up until this year when he dropped Gang. Gang is the tune which sort of changed everything for him. It's got like over 57 million streams right now, and he's been able to maintain a decent level of streams after that tune. He's also just announced that he's doing a headline show in February 2025, and the promo video for that was so sick. I've got a whole separate video literally talking about that promo video and some of the other creative parts of UK rap that are just like impressing me right now. But next year, again, it could be huge for him. I'm interested to see how it plays out, because whilst he's got a formula and that formula's working, there will come a point where he needs to change it up, and he'll be aware of that. I assume that he'll be dropping an EP, some little project next year, maybe experimenting with different sounds and stuff like that. But I'm excited to see what he's got in store next year. I'm just sort of freestyling the lighting that I've got going on here, so I hope it's all good. It might be a bit crazy, but you know what else is crazy? Poser's come up this year. In fact, Poser's probably got the craziest come up on this entire list. The first song he dropped was in March of this year, as in 2024, being Kitchen Stove, and that song banged. 32 million streams currently, and he's only got 9 songs out on Spotify. That's including remixes. He's got 1 remix on there, and in pretty much 9 months he's accumulated over 90 million streams. Yeah, that's 90. Sorry, my accent's fucking awful. And it's just down to his sound. His sound's just different. It's aggressive. Like, the beats that he chooses to rap on are just like dark. They've just got this like sound to them. You know, if you listen to like a Malicious Intentions or Puppies, pretty much any of his tunes, but those two, like the beats, they're just dark. He's found his own sound and it's working. And to top off a 10-10 rookie year, he ended it with collabing with AJ Tracey on Heaters for arguably one of the best UK rap collaborations of the year. Going handheld on this one, because I wanted to show some love to Potter Paper, because he released 3 projects this year. You had Thanks for Hating in February with 18 songs, 36 Hours with M Hunt Show in May with 10 songs, and Nightmare Before Christmas that he just dropped in November with 16 songs. Personally, I'll probably say Thanks for Hating was the best project he dropped this year. I thought the M Hunt Show collab tape was sort of underwhelming. I like both artists, but the project, like as a whole, was just pretty forgettable. But then to end the year, he's just released Nightmare Before Christmas, which has has some of my favourite rapping performances, like, from the whole year on. The thing I like about Potter is the substance of his music and his tunes, the lyrics. It's not too dissimilar, do you know what I mean? You know what you're gonna get. Like, a lot of it is talking about his old life, the come up, how he used to get by and shit. But he just finds different ways to express it, like, even after all this time. You know, he's been in the scene for so long, you gotta think, you've got to come up with different substance for 10 plus years on songs, on albums, making catchy hooks, like, all of that. It's difficult, and he seems to just, while sort of keeping the same substance in his songs, he finds different ways, different metaphors, different bars to express it. And I spoke on the channel before about production. That's a reminder, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Best and most consistent UK rap content in the game, and it's going to keep coming. But production wise, his music just keeps getting better and better. That's obviously going to happen as an artist gets bigger and bigger. Their production's going to get better the more money they have, the more connections, different engineers they're working with. But while I love his old music, the new music, how much better it's produced, it's so, like, pleasant to listen to, and that's why I fuck with it. Like, I've been rocking with a lot of the shit he's been dropping this year, and 3 projects in 1 year, that's just crazy. The next artist was really a toss-up between the 3. I could have gone Fimigero, Len, or Lancey, and I've gone with Fimigero. Lancey's obviously the most decorated out of all of the 3, but he didn't drop a personal project this year, which is the reason I didn't put him in. Len's been doing his thing as well, but I just feel like I've seen more of Fimigero. Fimi Guerrero. That's all I had to say. Fimi Guerrero. Fimi Guerrero. Apologies, I had no sleep last night, so allow the pronunciation. Right, back to it. He dropped New World Order in August. That was an 11-song project. And then obviously Conglomerate in November with the other 2, followed by Deluxe. So he's been putting out a lot of music, and they've just well and truly planted themselves into the UK scene. They've built this core audience that a lot of other UK rappers couldn't target this audience, you know what I mean? It's the people who are fans of Yeet, the people who are fans of Playboy Carti, Destroy Lonely, whoever in the UK, who might not be a fan of, like, traditional UK rap music. They might not like grime or drill or whatever it is. But, like, this genre of rap, it's popular, and there wasn't too many people apart from Lancey in the UK really, like, targeting it. And these guys just come in and they've just taken that audience for themselves. And that's why you see they've got, like, these cult followings, basically. Similar to, like, what Opium have got in the US, where you got these people who are, like, ride or die for these artists. It's a bit fucking creepy, but you know what I mean? Like, they will literally do anything. These people who glaze Carti are the same people who will be, like, queuing and going to their shows. I saw the Conglomerate show in London. I didn't go. I mean, like, I saw videos of it. And, like, bro, people were everywhere, like, up against the gates and shit. It was crazy. So you can see what they're doing. They've got a formula and it's working. If I was to add up all the streams of the other 9 artists on this list from 2024 and compare it to Central C, I'm pretty sure that he would still have more streams than the 9 of them combined. And he's only released 9 songs throughout the year. You had Band for Band. Obviously, that's on, like, 300 million streams, as well as a feature on J. Cole Might Delete Later. Probably my favourite verse of his of the year, as I've mentioned before. Aside from that, I can't lie, he's dropped some stinkers. And I'm not talking stinkers numbers-wise. Like, it's the opposite. These tunes are performed extremely well. But, like, I Will, that sing song he dropped at the start of the year, I'm not a big fan of the singing type shit that he's doing, but I can respect it. It's performing well and he's attracting a new audience, so he knows what he's doing. I'm just not the audience for those types of songs. Did it first with Ice Spice as well. Just want to put it out there. Contender for maybe worst song of the year. Yeah, that song got saved by the beat. Genuinely, that song is one of the worst songs I've heard this entire year. And this is probably a good spot for me to let you know that I am hosting an award show on this channel that's all voted for by the fans. There'll be a link in the top row of my description where you can go and place your votes on certain categories that I've done for the year. Awards like Best Album of the Year, Worst Song of the Year, Biggest L of the Year, Best Feature of the Year, Artist of the Year. And it's all going to be voted for by the fans. You guys on my YouTube, over on my TikTok. I'm going to get everyone involved. After a couple of weeks, just before the end of the year, I'm going to host the awards on my show with a suit and shit. An actual award show that's not fucking rigged. It's voted for by the fans. So if you're not happy with the outcome, swivel on it. I didn't make the rules. So after this video, make sure you go to the top link in my description and go and submit your votes for each categories. If you don't know one for a category, just put NA or something. But I want to see as many people as I can getting involved because that should be a good video to end the year off. Back to Central C though, I'm just hoping that this Ice Spice saga is over. He's done his thing right. He's gained this global audience, all these like Ice Spice fans that he would have never really have targeted. He's got them now. The master plan has worked. Mr. C, just drop a good album with no Ice Spice feature. Use some other artists. I'm excited for the album in January. January. Like, it could be the biggest year for a UK rapper numbers wise ever, depending on how this album performs and the songs that he drops later in the year. But I'm excited to see what this album has in store. Yeah, a potential Dave album in 2025 as well. Whew, we're going to be eating good. The next artist I've got is actually the first and only female rapper on the entire list, Shai Ktia. I only realised when making this video that she hasn't even got a song over 1 million streams on Spotify yet, but don't judge a book by its cover. Don't just judge it off the streams. There's a page on Instagram, Treasure Box. If you don't know about Treasure Box already, I'll put the link here. It's such a fucking elite tier page for UK culture, shit like that. If you want like good captions, you just want to see good posts on your feed, Treasure Box, I'll put it on the screen right here. They've got more followers than me. They don't need the promotion, but I'm going to shout them out anyway because they basically said everything that I want to say. That being that she's different to pretty much any UK female rapper that we've had before or that we've got right now. She's like a little gangster with it. She sounds so polite but like aggressive at the same time. It's got the sort of like Glorilla effect where you've got female rappers who are rapping about shit that the male audience can relate to or sing along to, and that's just going to help her grow even more. Like, it's very rare that a man is going to be sat in his car screaming about how much his coochie gets pumped, like listening to Sexy Red. That just ain't gonna happen. But the subject matter of her music is helping her grow an audience with female fans and male fans. Personal favourite moment of mine from the year was on the Victory Lap freestyle. I'll insert a clip here where she mentions all the YSL members. It's so slick.
Back. Bar for bar on a feature, never ever back and forward. Mute, don't talk, really socially awkward. My ooters tear when we see it, don't chat back. On a matter peer, we back, gonna slap that 9 times out of 10, it's a hashtag. I'm a little ski like brother, a young fugging. Going off looks like a book trying to judge him. He's little like kid, but he's actually got it.
Yeah, cold. Big year for Shai Ktia next year. The next artist I had to include was Getz, because in my opinion, Getz dropped the best rap album of the year in the UK with On Purpose, With Purpose. People might not agree with that. I've seen people putting shouts in for Bashy's album. I've got no complaints with that. Or maybe another album. Let me know in the comments or in my link in my description what you think the best album of the year was. But the range on this album and the rapping performances he puts in and like the versatility between all the songs is just like unmatched, that no one else was really doing on an album this year. He's been around for so long and it just doesn't feel like he's stepping off the gas. And there was such a range of features on the album. You had like Kano and Wretch 3-2 to Unknown T and Lancey. Such a good album. And to add to that, he had like one of the main roles in Supercell, one of the biggest UK series on Netflix this entire year, in what I'm pretty sure was his acting debut. I could be wrong, but from what I can see, it was his acting debut, and I gotta say, he did all right. Do you know what I mean? He did okay. I feel like it's always hard when a musician or someone in the public eye tries to do acting, because you've seen them so much in like their normal personality. You've seen so much of their normal personality on the internet that when they start acting, it's sort of like seeing a friend or a family member acting. It'll be like cringe you out a bit because you're so used to seeing them normally. But I thought his acting was actually pretty good. I didn't think it was amazing, don't get me wrong, but if you didn't know who Getz was, you could watch that show and be none the wiser. So solid acting performance and an even better album. I also forgot to mention that this list is in no particular order, and I also forgot to mention that once again my trim is extremely washed. But I don't know what it is about these videos. Whenever I do a video, I just don't do my trim, and this is going to be on the internet for like eternity. So like going forward, I promise you I will sort my fucking trim out. You know what I mean? It's just long, bro. But my 10th and final artist who I think had the best 2024, I've got to give it to Nines. My first YouTube video back 2 months now was a reaction to Nines going crazy. That video was so shit. But if you do want to see more reaction videos, let me know in the comments. Obviously a different year for Nines compared to all the other artists on this list, because he retired from music. He's never making music again. Was it the right decision? Probably. He said it himself, the name of the album, Quit While You're Ahead. I think that's exactly what he's done, because he's got such a big catalogue of music. You can find yourself comparing his new music to his old music, you know, the One Foot In, One Foot Out, Church Road to Hollywood. Music's changed. Like, obviously music changes every year. It's like fashion, there's trends. So the music that he made back then, a CR, probably wouldn't bang like it does if he dropped it this year. It's just sort of how music works. It's very weird. But I think he made the right decision. Like, the album was okay, do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was just okay. There's like still a decent amount of tunes I'm spinning off the album, you know, Champagne Problems, Cocoa Butter, Millions, Cap, Cold Hearted World 3. But as a full project, definitely doesn't beat like a Crabs in a Bucket, a Crop Circle, Church Road to Hollywood, One Foot In, month out. Like, there's so many Nines projects that I prefer than the one he dropped this year. But I think leaving the scene on the note that he did was a good one. And, you know, he had the send-off at the O2 for his final show. That was, like, pretty wholesome, you know, like, having one of the GOATs, like, standing on stage while everyone's giving, like, a round of applause on that. It was good to see, do you know what I mean? It was heartwarming, but happy retirement, Mr. Nines. Like, just enjoy your life now, do you know what I mean? You've completed music in the UK. You've had a very good music career. You're probably going to go down as one of the GOATs, so just enjoy the rest of your life. I don't know, take up a hobby. Start playing golf or squash or fucking racquetball or some shit, I don't know. But that's my top 10 artists. I'm sure you're going to disagree with one, if not all 10. So let me know in the comments who you think had the best 2024, or you can just let me know with the link at the top of my description for the awards. Yes, it's completely free. You don't have to pay to vote or anything like that. Voting will close before the end of 2024, so make sure you put your submissions in on the link, because that should be a fun video. But as always, if you haven't already, subscribe, drop a like on the video. I think it helps me or some shit, so just do it. It's free. Drop me a like, support the boy. Plenty more videos coming, so I'll catch you in the next one.